I've tried to be patient. I've tried to wait. But I have to know. How, Father? How do I do it? What do I use to make them afraid? If I ring the bell, Alfred will come. Another of your gifts to me, Father. But I'd rather die than wait another hour. I've already waited 18 years. Yes, Father.
Batman Year One, which is based on a very acclaimed graphic novel written by Frank Miller, one of the two big ones he written dealing with Batman. And for a lot of people, this is kind of like the origin story. You know, this is for a long time was, I think, before Batman Begins, was the origin story. This is how you tell it. This is the Batman origin story. End of their book, right? And so they adapted it into an animated movie. Do a straight adaptation, like if you read the book, you read the movie, you read the book, you watched the film, kind of thing. And when the film came out, I saw the comic complaint. Yeah, same. So I mean, how many movies out there are based on books that you just saw the movie of? So on the same side, this comic complaint was it should have been called Gordon Year One, not Batman Year One. And I get it. I get what Miller was going with. I got what the film was going with the idea. It's like it's not a straightforward origin story where you have Batman, you got Bruce Wayne, Spain getting shot, he gets trained, he turns Gotham, he sets himself to be Batman, becomes Batman, fights one of the Warriors Gallery, say, for Batman Begins' sake, it's Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow till the end of the movie. It's not that. It's about Gotham mostly changing. It's the origin story how Gotham is evolving and how Batman's influence, how Bruce's influence of being Batman changes Gotham, and using Gordon as the eyes of that. And also see how the police department sees that. Commissioner Loeb, who's like the Detective Flash is like the heads of the poster children in this movie as corrupt police departments, and how twisted and how mild and how the police department is. We see Falcone, see the criminal on the well, all kind of stuff. And the moment Batman does the whole thing of, ladies, gentlemen, you have eaten Gotham's wealth, spirit, but your feast is not nearly over. For this time now you're safe. I understand the second their boots. It's like it's one guy, but he's able to do all this stuff. I mean, hell, his influence creates a Catwoman, and Selina Kyle, who is, I think it's controversial now, but Selina Kyle in Batman Year One is a prostitute, is a sweet prostitute, on the sidewalk prostitute, and she quits the job and becomes a cat burglar while wearing a cat costume. So it's she's Catwoman for a brief moment. It's like 8 scenes she's Catwoman, but Batman's influence makes her to be Catwoman in a way. And it's very, it's I always say it's not a story about Gordon, it's not a story about Batman, it's about the story of the city. Now let's talk about the voices. Ben Kingsley, who's funny enough to play Gordon in Gotham, let's say that he's a good Gordon. I will say that. Batman not so much. I just felt how he says the dialogue just felt very not convincing. It just felt very dry. I mean, he does the big dialogue stuff, like the dialogue stuff, like, you know, I shall become a bat, and, you know, ladies, gentlemen, you know, you ate Gotham's wealth and so on, if he's fair. Oh, he said all those stuff pretty decently. It's just like, it's not when he plays the playboy, you know, the playboy guy, the playboy Bruce Wayne. It just feels very like, oh, I'm the playboy now, so I have to sound very posh and all that. I'm like, I'm not a big fan of that. But you know what's fucking awesome? Bryan Cranston as Gordon. It's unsaid me so that a lot of people want him in a movie playing Gordon, and this is probably the reason why. He's just fucking brilliant as Gordon. Just great line liberty, great stuff. Jeez, and even like, you know, characters that we only see for a brief moment, like, you know, for who's in a couple of scenes, like Attempted Essence, who's voiced by Katie Sackhoff, who, you know, she does a pretty good job in this movie. Eliza Goosehue, who plays Selena Kyle Catwoman, you know, she does a good job in that. It's just Batman. It's just the main guy, the title character. It's just about, yeah. Normally in the early days of the DC animated movies, they kind of always like able to get the voice actors pretty well. But sometimes I hear that, and that's the case. The animation is great. It is basically the comic book coming to life. It is. If you read the comic, you watch the movie. You watch the movie, you read the comic. And those were the early years. Those were like when things were simple, when they didn't have to change stuff all the time, and like, oh, it doesn't fit in the universe, so that's this. You know, they just did the Killing Joke is the Killing Joke. The Dark Knight Returns is the Dark Knight Returns, and hint, which ones I'm doing next after Dark Knight Rises. But it's yeah, I mean, the music's great, all that kind of stuff. The action's always it's not a movie that has a lot of action. I won't lie. When they do the year jumping, because they do a lot of like May, June 2020, or you know, May 20 or June 4th or December 25th, or those type of things. It can get maybe a bit jarring, a bit awkward, something that might work in a comic, but doesn't translate well in any sort of other visible media, really. But yeah, I mean, the best way to say it, this movie is okay. It's good. It's solid. It's not the best of the DC animated movies out there, but it's solid. It's a good adaptation.